Hello and welcome everyone to the live analysis of Countdown Cat 11. And before we start, I hope all of you watched the game match today. Virat Kohli is a king for a particular reason, and he has proved it not once, not twice, many a time, and today he has proved it again. And
वैसे वैसे क्या हुआ?
India were 45 for 4 in 10
नहीं
overs,
नहीं
chasing
रवि गलत बोल रहे हो
160.
31 for 4 था. It was
31 for 4
31 for
in
4.
6 overs.
6
And
overs in 10 overs we were 50 for 4.
45 for
What
4.
in 10 overs?
And from there, Virat Kohli chased it single-handedly. With
Excellent. Wow. Yes.
excellent. And on the eve of Diwali, you are taking time. You have taken time to come to this analysis. I am very proud of those of you who have joined over here. Yeah, good to see you too, Satyam and Amrit.
Okay. Thank you, Samya. Okay. Okay. So
Right.
Sagar says worst score I got in all mocks so far. क्रिकेट देख रहे थे सागर की मैच की पेपर कर लेते.
सफाई कर रहे होंगे सर, दिवाली का मौसम है.
दिवाली का मौसम है. ठीक है. ठीक है. ठीक है. So how are the scores, Shivku? I have not seen the scores. थोड़ा
So
बताओगे कैसा रहा होगा?
this is how it's looking like. Um, what I see is the CDC 11 across board seems to be something that's not across board. I would say that, I mean, when I come to 90 and lower, it seems to be, for those people, it seems to have been a good one.
Almost
For the
the same level.
for the people
So
above
the
90
challenge
and
was
above.
going up. यानी 90 के ऊपर जाना थोड़ा स्ट्रगल था इसमें.
Hmm.
It, so while it had equal number or similar kind of paper up to 90, which means similar number of easy questions, after
Yeah.
that it became a little more difficult.
Yeah.
But frankly, Shivku, I'm a little surprised. I've not seen the verbal part. I looked at the other two papers, and in fact, थोड़ी देर पहले मेरी और रवि तेजा का डिस्कशन हो रहा था. This was a paper in which you could do anything from 8 to 14 question in DIL, not 8 to 14, 8 to 13 question in DILR, with reasonable amount of comfort in 40 minutes. Quant I have done, I've also recorded the Jugaad solution and shared. I think again, something like 10 questions was not a challenge. Going beyond
Yes.
that may have been an issue. So if I
Yes.
look at that part, 10 questions and quant about 30 marks and let's say 10 out here, yeah, 60 तो इन दो के बीच में आने चाहिए.
हाँ, तो मैं एक बार like quickly run through the brief cutoffs, ठीक है, and
Soumyadeep
then we
says
can.
why all sections were tough in the CDC. No, Soumyadeep, I completely disagree. 2 sections out of 3 were definitely not difficult. And in fact, I've said this earlier also. This time I find quite a large number of papers very close to actual DILR of last 2 years,
Ho-
which
ho-
is very
ho- ho-
simple. It says 2 doable set, one slightly difficult, one very difficult.
Hold it there, sir, for a moment. You will be shocked and surprised, probably even astounded by the. Okay, I want to see the look on your face when you see the DILR scores of this month.
अच्छा.
So let me run through the sectional scores, right? This is how it looks as far as. So you see that it's become, very very flat. Uh, in fact, I think 90 upwards. So normally जो steepness आता है, जो 90 के ऊपर जिनों का, so it looks like people found it a little tough to, even the good guys or people who have been scoring 99s and 98s in the past cats, they found it a little easy, a little difficult to uh, kind of go beyond the score of 100.
Right.
This is how it looks. No, verbal doesn't seem to have changed too much at the higher percentile. So to 90, 95th percentile, if you take compare it with CAT 2021, scores
Right.
are almost even there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's maximum of one question difference at the 99.5 percentile. However, quant and so verbal. So in this verbal ability seems to RCS people
Wow.
have done.
Verbal has killed people. I would say that when I look at question 17 to 24, only one question people have been able to. So I think verbal explains. There's this VRC verbal
Very
part
high
explains.
attempts, but very high attempts, but very low accuracy. Right?
Sir,
That
but
seems to be the.
see, there are three questions out there in the verbal ability part which are parajumbles. right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
parajumbles, even a 40% accuracy is probably an easy parajumble because it is,
Yeah, Ravi,
after
I'm
all, it's
looking at it.
an
If Ravi, out of these 8 questions, 17 to 24, one question is easy.
correct.
If I remove the three parajumbles, so that means the remaining four people have just messed up. Out of the five, four out of five of parajumble and odd statement are the one which have been a challenge. Out of these five of odd statement and para summary, I'm sorry, five questions of odd statement and para summary, I would expect a person to get three, if not four.
Right.
So I think that is definitely one issue which is there.
Now, when you go to DLR seems to have completely shocked the people.
That is the look I wanted to see actually,
ये जो
sir.
90 परसेंटाइल तक है
Yeah,
18 क्वेश्चंस ये ठीक
18
है.
marks, Chiku, not questions. छह
हाँ वही
सवाल.
कह रहा हूँ. हाँ तो
यार
उसके
So
फर्स्ट और
आगे
फोर्थ
ना.
सेट कर लेता. फर्स्ट और फोर्थ सेट दोनों में दिक्कत नहीं था. You would have
so
got 90 percentile.
yesterday when I received the paper, I called up Upendra sir, okay, and
Hmm.
told him कि sir देखो पेपर DILR का चारों सेट बन सकते हैं, बट
Yeah.
लोग इसलिए नहीं बनाएंगे क्योंकि पहला सेट सबसे आसान सेट जो फर्स्ट सेट है, द फर्स्ट सेट इज द इजीएस्ट इन द पेपर, बट बिकॉज इट इज गेम्स एंड टूर्नामेंट्स पीपल विल नॉट सॉल्व इट,
Yes, absolutely right. Agree with you.
वो तो बिल्कुल
राइट.
इतना
No,
आसान
but
ये स्टैंडर्ड स्टफ.
Shivku, I remember this last year also. Slot 2, CAT 21, my paper. There was one set of games and tournaments and with four questions, which was the easiest set of the paper. After the paper, I checked with many students, very few had attempted that set. So games and tournaments, somehow people decide कि यार games and tournaments है करना ही नहीं है. And that is something I want all students to remember. It does not matter what area is it. Don't start with the assumption that games and tournaments या होगा ही नहीं, arrangement पक्का हो जाएगा. You
करेक्ट.
will find
इनफैक्ट द
that many
अरेंज
a time the arrangement will be difficult games and tournaments. So take a decision after you have gone through the set, not before.
the arrangement set, the third set of arrangement that was there, and the second set was also basically arrangement only. So
Yeah.
if you actually you see, if you look at the ease of solving the first set, the first four questions, 25 to 28, were the easiest in the paper. And if
Yes.
you look at the number of attempts there, you'll see only about 30% of people
इट्स
Hmm.
have
क्रेजी.
at least tried attempting the first set.
Maximum 40%. I'll say if you look at the first four questions, just about 40%.
And it's an absolute shocker to me. Why are people getting 27, question number 27 correct and question number 25 incorrect? Because question number 25, if you get it correct, 27 is automatically correct.
यस यस
Which one was
वही
that?
है.
हाँ ठीक कह रहे रवि ठीक कह रहे हो
27 का answer depends on your understanding of question 25.
या
करेक्ट. वेरी
B
स्ट्रेंज.
cannot participate in more than two draws. That was what the question was.
या
So, in that sense of it, see, people have identified that DI typically one set which is pure DI will be more often than not mechanically doable, and people have reached that fourth set. And I'm 70% of people have tried attempting the fourth set, and I'm very happy for that. Though it is the last set in the paper, people have left sets and gone to that set and tried solving that one. I'm very happy for that with a decent accuracy, but I'm absolutely unhappy with the attempt rate as well as the accuracy for the first set, because these 24 marks were there in the paper to be absolutely taken. I agree that the second set is the one which would have probably made life very, very difficult, because people might have felt the conditions are not enough while the conditions were just about enough. The third set, if you look at it, people have, only 30% of people have attempted the third set.
बट दोज हु अटेम्प्टेड दे गॉट इट राइट.
And those who
ऑल
have
ऑफ देम.
attempted, they got it right. And the third set, the question number 39 is an idiot question, and I'm very happy that only 10% people tried to attempt the question number 39. You
that was
leave
the
that
only
question number
question
39, all other five questions of that set are absolutely simple. It is probably a work of 12 to 15 minutes. मेहनत करो थोड़ा सा,
15
उसके बाद
सवाल
पूरा
15
पांच क्वेश्चन स्ट्रेट निकल जाएंगे.
बिल्कुल.
set number 3 would have got you to 85 percentile in any case. If you just do
Right.
set number 3, leave question 39, you would be 85 percentile.
Right. I would be more interested in seeing how many people actually wasted time in the second set.
So we'll ask them. So let me look at quant.
Yeah.
क्वांट रवि तूने देखा था. paper?
Quant, I haven't seen quant, but
Okay, ठीक
what
है.
I see here
क्योंकि
is
मैंने किया है. I have
हाँ,
recorded the
इसमें मुझे
Jugaad
30
solutions also.
इसमें भी 34 मुझे थोड़ा, I mean, it's a little surprising. So, though I am not too worried about it because I see that only if I go till the 99th percentile, the scores are almost almost in sync with what was there in CAT 2021. It's only the 99.5 percentile which seems to have kind of faltered. So I would say that this is pretty close to what we envisaged or what we thought it would be. In fact, while designing it, one of the things uh, I was believing is that इसमें the DILR set, the set 1 and set uh, 4 together, between the two of them, I thought that people will definitely be able to do about 7 to 8 questions very easily, right? So I thought ki 24 25 marks is there for the taking as far as DILR is concerned. So beyond, and then and also believe that it does not take too much time. It will not take between the two of them more than 30 minutes to or 25 minutes to solve. So that I thought that maybe people will have a little more time either to try out the questions of the third set. Third set, once you put the figure, I think there are a lot of questions that you should be able to do very easily, right? उसमें थोड़ा मेहनत लगेगा, but
नहीं,
um,
शिवू कोई मेहनत नहीं है. Ravi had mentioned अभी नहीं, before when we were discussing, most people have missed possibly one line, or they have not understood the table or the information in the table, and hence they
hmm,
have taken a lot of time. Otherwise third set में मेहनत नहीं है बिल्कुल, बहुत जल्दी होता है.
it's a very good set. I think it looks like
हाँ.
almost a cat-like set. Hmm.
yeah. In
नहीं,
fact,
all
someone
four
was
sets को.
saying in the comments, someone had posted that DILR was not realistic. Sir, DILR, this is how you see the I to one point I may probably agree with you because three of the sets out of four were having missing data in DILR. That is why you might have found it a little more on the difficult side because the data was missing. Some of us who are not comfortable in dealing with numbers and missing data, you may find it very very difficult. But otherwise, because no question, Shivku sir, the problem I यहाँ पे ये था कि no question was a straight question that says ABCD are five people coming from five different cities wearing five different colors t-shirt and earn five different amounts of money. बेसिक वो अरेंजमेंट टेबल वाला कोई क्वेश्चन था नहीं. चारों क्वेश्चन में टेबल बना हुआ था और थोड़ा थोड़ा डेटा यहाँ वहाँ करना था. That is the problem with this paper because but if you actually look at it, every cat will have once every slot typically has one set that is a straight away no go, and I think to my mind that was the second set in this paper. There are two sets which are one set which is very very easily doable,
Absolutely.
and that is the
Agreed.
fourth set. थोड़ा दिमाग लगाओ doable, that is the first set, and थोड़ा और दिमाग लगाओ doable six question वाला, that was the third set. So this is how cat has been for the last in the last three slots last year, right? So I don't think this is not realistic or not close
I
to how cat
I
is
think if
basically.
somebody is not done the first set, I somehow start believing कि अच्छा ये there are some things that are more very basic that you are leaving out as a part of your DI prep. If you have decided कि I'm not going to do the first set, इसका मतलब पिछले कैट का पेपर सॉल्व नहीं किया है. तो I mean वो देख के तो लगता है यार ये तो there are 5 questions or 6 questions there for the taking.
सर
So that is
इसमें
one concern
एक
that
और
I have.
पॉइंट ये है कि पहला सेट मिस करने का एक और रीजन ये हो सकता है कि यू डोंट नो हाउ टू फाइंड द नंबर ऑफ पॉजिटिव इंटीग्रल सॉल्यूशंस ऑफ 2x plus 5 2x plus y equal to 5 because for every win you get 2 points and for every draw you get 1 point. और टोटल पॉइंट्स दिया है, जोड़ो, दो ही केस बनने थे, उसमें एक एलिमिनेट होना था. दैट वाज वेरी दैट you don't want to even form those cases, then you are not even putting that effort to solve that question. That is where you might have lost, if you have lost in that set, because people who attempted it got two or three questions very easily there, but only sadly only 30% 40% people attempted it, and that is where I think I am a little on the unhappy side.
So CL gave a great bomb on Diwali, it seems. Amrit says.
नहीं, आज बॉम्ब तो आज विराट कोहली ने मार दिया with some
Hmm.
small contribution from Pandya.
Yeah, you can feel happy about it. I think there must always be something to compensate for your sadness of not doing well in CDC. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Hmm, 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 hmm.
तो शिव को सर सब क्वेश्चंस को आसान क्यों बोलते हैं? अच्छा ठीक है, ना
नहीं
बोलो.
नहीं, शिव को क्वांट में out of these 24 odd questions, I think about 15 were doable. Now it's a question of how many of those 15 will you pick up?
Soumya, I agree to this. This is how you have to solve it also. That question has to be solved like this only. But it is only that, the basic table that you get is before the deliveries. And for this, you'll have to figure out what is going to happen, the table after the first delivery, the table after the second delivery, and what is the possibility of weight that will add up to 19 kgs in the final delivery. And that is where this question pissed me off, actually, question 39.
Somewhere the issue is not whether question 39 can be solved or not. The issue is should you be solving it if it is going to take you 4 minutes or so. Okay, so to my mind, if I look at that particular data set, the first and the last question can be solved immediately once you get the box number and the weights in place. Okay, and the remaining three questions except question 39 can be solved with the help of first delivery and the second delivery. And this is a
Absolutely.
question which does, and if you remember, the data does not give you what happened in the fourth delivery or the third delivery. Third delivery you don't know. Fourth delivery you have some information, right? So that is why you'll have to work and make cases and solve. And that is
And
what I'm saying. I would not do it. I would rather spend those 3-4 extra minutes onto the other set.
let me just once present this also, sir. There are certain points that I want to focus, or rather,
Hmm. Hmm.
iterate here. Uh, just a second. So is the presentation visible now? Yeah.
Yes.
So if you actually look at this, and you feel that, some of us have a habit of forming all tables before going to the solving the question. See, basic table you will take about 8 minutes to fill it. After that, after first delivery, you will take another minute to fill it. After second delivery, again another minute fill it. Now, at this point, if you read this point and try to make the table for the third and fourth delivery without reading this question, basically question 5 is telling कि third और fourth का table नहीं बनेगा. Right? When you start working on something without reading the questions, then you end up doing extra work, and then you realize कि यार बन ही नहीं रहा है. And that is what will probably demotivate you. So please, whenever questions in DILR, I suggest you take a call whether to solve a question or leave a question after reading the question, not the sets only, not the
Yeah.
set and the setup only. This is very very important, that you understand कि boss, गिवन डेटा से डिलीवरी 3 और डिलीवरी 4 का कंप्लीट डेटा नहीं निकलेगा. You don't start making the entire table and multiple cases there before
Ravi,
solving the.
if you go back to the previous slide, just इसमें इससे पिछले हाँ, the way I solved this set was uh, obviously I went through this and looked at the question based on statement 1, 2, 3, 4. I got the box numbers and the weights in place. Now go
So
and
you
do and now do the first and the last question. Okay. After once you have done this, two questions were based purely on this. What is the box number? That is question one. Okay, solve this question, and the last question again you could solve this based on this question 6. So do these two questions. Now look at the remaining question. There are two questions we talked about, first and second delivery. Question 2 is about first delivery. Question 3 is about second delivery. Question 4 is about second delivery. Do go to the next statement. Okay, go to the next statement, statement 5. Do the first delivery question. Then go to the next statement, statement 6, and do the remaining two questions. After that, go to the next set. This back end, I think what I would want all of you to start doing is, if you have not done started already, is it is a dialogue between the question and the data. It is not a sequential process that first I'll do the table, then I'll go to the question. You have the data, go to the questions, come back, make a table, go to the questions. So this back and forth has to happen for you to have make optimum utilization of your time, and to ensure you that, because if you are don't do that question, if you get stuck with that fifth question while filling up the table, you will waste a lot of time, which is also not useful at all. My job, as I always say, is to answer the questions, not to make the table. Unfortunately, I find many times students get stuck with making the table.
Hriday is saying that in the fourth question, first set का fourth question, it is still the final. Nahi, at the end of the tournament is what the question is asking. So that is after the final, basically, Hriday.
Tournament ends after the final, not before.
Right? What is can be the maximum difference between the total points awarded to the teams that reaches the final at the end of the tournament? मतलब final के बाद एक टीम को जिताओ and make the difference maximum. I think okay. Question four is a little. The question four still has a little trap in it because one semi-final is being played between a 10 pointer versus 6 pointer, and the second semi-final is being played between a 10 pointer and an 8 pointer.
8 pointer, yeah.
Now the point is, if you make the 10 pointer win here and 8 pointer win here, you'll get the wrong answer. You'll get the answer as 4. The point is you have to make this person lose, this person win, and this person win. That is where you will get the maximum possible gap. That is 6. So I think that is where the accuracy of this question has gone a little lower. As I said,
Ravi,
in the first question you get the
one thing which you mentioned, yeah, Ravi, one thing which you mentioned with respect to the third set. Just go to the set. I'm not sure how many students were able to pick up that part, because that to me was very important. When I was doing the set, that is what helped me. Yeah, in shelf A, the weight is less than 2.5. So the only four weights which are possible are 0.5, 1, 1.5, and 2. Similarly, shelf B, the only weights which are possible are 2.5, 3, 3.5, and 4. So actually, your job becomes very, very less if you just pick this up. You don't have to go through, which is what I said, and then you have the total weights given at the bottom. So you can very quickly fill up the table. So Ravi said 8 minutes. I think you can easily do it in 5 to 6 minutes if you're able to pick up this part. Similarly, in shelf C will be it is five from 4.5 to 6, and the remaining four weights will be 6.5 to 8 will be the last shelf.
बिल्कुल जीपी, आई थिंक दैट इज अ स्ट्रेटजी.
I think ये वाली चीज अगर मिस पिक कर लिया है तो सेट कहीं पे नहीं गया. 5 जो है 10 मिनट में हो जाएंगे, 15 मिनट भी नहीं लगेंगे. बट ठीक है, दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच यू नीड टू रिमेंबर फॉर फ्यूचर.
आई थिंक जो इंफॉर्मेशन ऑलरेडी दे दिया जाता है ना सर टेबल में, उसको ज्यादा भाव नहीं देते. वो चीज पकड़ लेते तो it is the simple it is probably very easy.
Yeah.
So in this type of DILR section, Anmol, I would say, see, leaving the first set or the last set is probably something that I would be strictly against. Only the second question here is a little calculation intensive. Everything else is a bacha question. So question 1, 3, and 4 in the last set, and all the 4 questions of the first set were pretty easily doable. So at least these 21 marks were up for grabs.
बट रवि, मैं तो बोलूंगा कैलकुलेटर है, कैलकुलेटर यूज करो, उसमें 3 मार्क मिल रहा है, 3 मार्क मिल रहा है, तुम इधर सोचना क्या है इसमें.
Exactly.
In fact, I hope the students did not make a table for this.
Sir,
Four questions you don't need to make the table. Table बनाया तो मार पड़नी चाहिए.
इसमें एक और चीज है सर. ये वाले क्वेश्चन में ना आपको what you get is 3/5 off, 1/4 off, 9/20 off, 128,000, 128 lakhs.
Yeah.
This is what you get, right? So basically what you need to understand is that ये 5, ये 4, ये सब निकल जाएगा यहाँ से. आपके पास 3 के पावर्स बचेंगे, 5 के पावर्स बचेंगे और 2 के पावर्स बचेंगे. 2 power 5 और 3 power 5, 6 power 5. If you know numbers, that was your answer. 7, 7, 7, 6 is 6 power 5. आप देखोगे तो 3 पावर 5 और 2 पावर 5 मिलेगा. विदाउट कैलकुलेटर ऑल्सो यू कैन pretty easily do it if you know that 7776 is 6 power 5. Otherwise you use the calculator and get it.
Ravi, in this, in this particular question, first thing I said was, yeah, my answer has to be a multiple of 9 and digit sum hence has to be 9. Unfortunately, Shivku ने choices बहुत गलत डाला हुआ है. पहला वाला
Only this
मल्टीपल ऑफ
option
9 है,
gets it.
सेकंड मल्टीपल ऑफ 9 है, थर्ड
अच्छा,
मल्टीपल ऑफ 9 है.
all four are
बहुत
multiples
गलत
of
है.
9.
ये मेरे साथ जानबूझ के मेरे को लगता है मेरे अगेंस्ट चॉइसेस
बट
बनाई
जीपी
गई है.
उसमें 27 into 12/7 उसके आसपास होनी चाहिए.
नहीं नहीं, वो ठीक
तो
है, उसके बाद
आंसर
अप्रोक्सीमेट
तो
कह दिया
अस्सी
मैंने.
हजार का
मैं यार
80,000
कैलकुलेट
के
नहीं करना
आसपास होने.
चाहता था शिवको. शिवको वो
हाँ
हो जाता उसके बाद, दैट्स द नेक्स्ट थिंग आई डिड. बट मैं कहा डिजिट सम 9 से मल्टीप्लाई हो ना, आंसर तो मल्टीपल ऑफ 9 होना चाहिए. 3 आउट ऑफ 4 एट मल्टीपल ऑफ 9, सॉरी ऑल 4 एट मल्टीपल ऑफ 9. वो गलत बात है, ऐसे नहीं करना चाहिए. After that, the choices were far apart,
तो
so
इनफैक्ट मुझे
eliminating
मुझे लगता है
choices
कि
was not an issue.
आई डोंट नो इफ पीपल जस्ट गो टू द लास्ट सेट रवि. I don't know whether people even look at the first couple of digits. हमेशा हम लोग नहीं, वो जो क्वेश्चन जिसमें तुमने कैलकुलेशन की बात की,
हाँ,
मैं तो
देखो
उसको उपेंद्र
choices
को
are
बोल
so
के देखा
far
कि ये तो
apart, you
70.
can easily do it.
हाँ
शिवको, इसको ये देख यार, 3/60% of 25% is 15%.
हाँ
15% का 45% will be about 7%.
हाँ
So your 7% of 128 is what you need. It'll be more than 6, na? More than 7.
हाँ
7%
ठीक है.
of 100 is 7. So 7% of 128 will be maybe about 8 or 9, whatever. So the other three choices straight away go away. So approximation works.
Approximation is 80,000 के आसपास होनी चाहिए. 27 into 3 is what you should get as an answer.
हाँ,
3
एक
into
एक
9 into ठीक है
मेरे
नहीं.
को मेरे को इतना याद है, 3 पावर 5 दिख रहा था और 2 पावर 5 दिख रहा था. मैंने
हाँ
6 पावर 5
तो
वाला लगा दिया.
बिल्कुल. But I think this was I think everybody should have got this right. All questions.
And even if you
जहाँ पे
go to
जहाँ पे
the second
कैलकुलेटर
step,
यूज करने से मुझे मार्क्स मिल रहे हैं, वहां पे क्यों मैं भागूंगा कि अच्छा मुझे 2 मिनट लगेंगे कैलकुलेशन में. बेवकूफी है. I think
even if
any
you go,
question in DI, if a student is leaving because there's a lot of calculations in it, I'm saying you're doing a very stupid mistake of skipping it. Because you have a calculator, if you feel that your normal speed can be slow, you don't have calculation, use the calculator, do it. Even if it means तुमको 3 मिनट तो नहीं लगेगा कैलकुलेशन करने में कैलकुलेटर के साथ, तो 3 मिनट में 3 मार्क आएगा तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है.
इनफैक्ट ये वाला भी जो सेट है ना सर, इसमें ये दिया है कि नो एस्पिरेंट रिसीव्ड कॉल लेटर्स थ्रू ऑल 5 टेस्ट और टोटल कॉल लेटर्स 16 है, राइट. So if you look at question 3, Basil did not receive a call letter. Her option में there are 3 colleges. That means Basil only got 2 calls.
सवाल ये, people don't pick up, Ravi. People don't look at choices.
ठीक है. अदिति सभी इसमें लो स्कोरर है.
Yes.
ठीक है. अदिति सभी इसमें लो स्कोरर है. इसका मैक्सिमम ही 2 कॉल्स होना था. तो मतलब बाकी 3 4 4 4 होना था. तो बेसिकली यू गॉट दिस आंसर. बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत करे बिना यू कुड हैव गॉट द आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन एटलीस्ट. सो मतलब थे, there were good enough questions which you could have pulled out of the sets also, even if you find discomfort in this. I think in the second set, people, what my analysis of the second set is that if you actually start calculating the averages of 2 numbers, 3 numbers and 4 numbers among them by adding a1 a2 a3 divided by 3, then you are absolutely doomed. That is where you would have वो अगर किया है तो बहुत गलत किया है. बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग ये होना चाहिए इन दिस क्वेश्चन. द बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग वाज if the lowest score or the highest score is a distinct score, it could never have been an average of any other combination of numbers. तो उनको पहले एलिमिनेट करते चले जाओ and then start filling the table. And using the points, you could also have filled this table. But I agree that this is a longer set. This is a set that is more time taking than the third set. The third set, if you choose to solve question 5, तो प्रॉब्लम है. तो additionally 3 minutes 4 minutes extra lag jayega. That is where it will become probably longer than the second set. But out of set 2 and set 3, one of the sets you could have done with probably four, at least getting 4 questions right, and the first set and the last set, I would say, were definitely there up for grabs.
Ravi,
Or
yeah, just one last thing with respect to that set which you talked about. Ravi, just can you just go to that slide with the table? Ah,
yeah,
yeah. So if you have to look at the average, don't look at calculating the average, look at the difference. For example, if you look at Basel and CET, from the lowest it is +4. So you need a +4 on the other side also. So
correct,
look at differential. For example, if you look at 40 Charu, Charu is it has a -2 with Aditi. So if there's a +2, then it is an average. Okay, so if you look at those differences, rather than looking at the average calculation, look at the difference. The sum of difference has to be 0. Okay, if
correct,
that number is the average, the sum of differences on either side has to be 0. You will be able to do it faster.
correct.
Yep. So quant mein, I don't know. I mean, what is it that you guys found tough? Any reasons why
Shivku,
anybody
not
who's
you.
attempted more than 15 questions in quant?
Okay.
Quant there.
No one seems to be have attempted more than 15 questions. Okay.
Hmm.
But Shivku, एक बार अगर if you just go through the paper completely, just open the okay. If you just go from the first slide, I think this was doable with the help of choices. Okay. So you just start checking the choices. You should be able to do it if n is equal to 31. That means you are from 2 to 62. The average will be 32. You can remove 32 from the group and your average will still not change. So if you
Correct.
just started checking all the 4 choices, maybe it would take you a couple of minutes, but you'll be able to get it. So this is a doable question as far as I'm concerned. The next question, Ravi, the next question is a standard question. I'm sure somewhere or the other, you would have seen this question. He has to save 20 minutes. If he has to save 20 minutes, it is 10 minutes going and 10 minutes coming.
Correct.
That means the auto has done in 40 minutes what Rohan would have done in 10 minutes. This is a
ऐसे वाले
standard question. I'm sure every study material in the world has this kind of a question.
और इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर हमेशा या तो 1:3 होता है या 1:4 होता है सर. रेशियो ऑफ स्पीड या तो 1:3 होगा या 1:4 होगा, लगा के देख लो यार.
but ये तो स्टैंडर्ड सवाल है, हर स्टडी मटेरियल में दुनिया के है ये इस टाइप का. दिस आई होप पीपल हैव नॉट मिस्ड.
आदित्य कहता है the questions in quant were exhaustive but not really difficult per se. ये जो थोड़ा बहुत लंबा questions का trend है, that we have been seeing in the last 3-4 years. So you will find some questions which are long. When you say exhaustive, it is about long. And there's वो
And
जो
this again is a standard LCM HCF question. Again, yes, every study material has one such kind of question. Okay, so standard. If you look at out of the first 3 questions, the first one you need to check the choices, but the second and the third question, these are your standard question. You should be able to do it without even thinking even. Okay, the first one needed you to think, not the second and the third. Okay. Okay. This again, assume an amount of money if you want to. LCM of 70, 50, 30. Though that is not what I would do. I will straight away start working on 30 guava, 50 plum, and 70 peaches. But that's a separate issue.
I think
That I
this is
put in the Jugaad solution. You can check out in the Jugaad solution what I would have done. But to me,
as
my basic issue is, Shivku, when people say it was difficult, I'm saying these are 3 questions, second, third, fourth, which are standard question. You can just work by your standard methods and get the answer.
my question paper technique worked, is it? Divyansh, I think somebody else also said that. For all those who don't know what is my question paper technique, पहले बोला हुआ था कि make sure कि क्वेश्चन पेपर फॉर्मेट में जाके पेपर एक बार चेक कर लो, डिसाइड कर लो कौन से क्वेश्चंस करनी है, देन
Yeah.
डू इट, बिकॉज़ आई थिंक इट सेव्स टाइम.
also वो जब आप क्वेश्चन पेपर खोलते हो तो it also hides the timer, so you are not actually under time pressure at that point.
Yes. टाइमर दिखेगा नहीं तो प्रेशर भी नहीं होगा.
सही
हाँ.
बात है, सही बात है. बट ऐसे मत करना कि सारे पेपर उसी पे लगे हुए हो.
सर नहीं सर, मैं DILR में वो यूज करता हूँ. इन एक्चुअल कैट आई डू दैट ओनली इन
Yeah,
DILR
exactly.
बिकॉज एटलीस्ट फर्स्ट सेट में बिना टाइमर के ही सॉल्व करता हूँ. Because I
Hmm.
want to get, solving the first, getting those first initial 12 to 18 marks in the paper is very very necessary. उसमें मैं
Absolutely. I
टाइम
think
का नहीं देखता हूँ कि 10 मिनट लग रहे हैं, 15 मिनट लग रहे हैं या 20
ये
20 भी
ये
लग रहे
ये
हैं.
बात,
I
ये
find 18.
तुम्हारी बात ना, I think this is exactly what I also believe.
Yeah,
The first set, if it is in your pocket, I think it gives you tremendous amount of confidence. So very,
correct.
very crucial.
This is
Again,
again
this
a
is a
very
regular
standard question.
question. हाँ, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, चॉइस चेक कर सकते थे, ठीक है. एंड ऐसे वाले क्वेश्चन में अगेन multiple answers are usually possible when there is a quadratic equation. This does not get a quadratic, so cannot be determined answer नहीं होगा इसका. It can definitely be determined, and it is very very unlikely you'll have two answers. Okay.
Right. In fact, you can start putting the values, substituting the values from the options 40, 50, 60 लगा के देखो किसी में
Yeah.
किसी में बैठ जाएगा.
Yeah. नहीं, और 50 करोगे ना पहले तो चेक, 40 और 60 बाद में करोगे.
Correct.
बीच वाला चॉइस, because that will tell you whether you have to go towards 40 or 50 if it is incorrect. Okay, this one I think people would have got stuck between 0 and 22. I think that is possible कि क्या होना है, but again if you solve it, major issue नहीं आना चाहिए था इसके अंदर. अगला सवाल बहुत important है. I am hoping people took n equal to 0, n equal to 1 and solved it. Okay. So Ravi, if you can just make that n equal to 1 wala table. The number in the middle will be 3, I plus j plus 1. Now it says some numbers are selected from the table. It is found that exactly one number has been selected from each row in each column. What is the sum of selected numbers? The only sum possible here is 3. So for n equal to 1, your answer has to be 3.
So cannot be option 1, cannot be option 2. For n equal to 1, your answer has to be
3.
3.
Yeah. So so
Uh,
so so choice 3 is the answer.
n into n
But
plus 2. Option 3. Yeah, correct.
okay,
Yeah.
if you put n equal to 2, you will get the value as 8. For n equal to 2, you will get the value as 8. So that is all you needed to do in this. If you are trying to do a general case and then solve incorrect, remember the Jugaad solutions, Jugaad techniques, the raise to 99. When a general case is given, you have to take a specific case. Take n equal to 1, 2, 3 and solve. Yeah. Great, Sagar. Yeah. Now, now this is a question I would avoid. I'm not saying it is doable or not. My point is this is going to be lengthy. Product of first 5 terms is an arithmetic progression. A product of first 5 terms of AP is this. First, second, and fourth are in geometric progression. It can be done. So you will take A minus 2D, A plus 2D, A minus G, A plus G, and A. These are the 5 terms with A being the middle term. Their product you can find. Then you will take the other 1, 2, and 4, call them geometric progression. Doable, but will take a lot of time. This is a question I will definitely not want to attempt in the paper.
Achha, product is
Hmm.
40 by 81. I was thinking sum is
A
the question.
minus, yeah, sum होता तो प्रॉब्लम ही खत्म था ना. 5A equal to
Problem
40
ही
by
नहीं.
81 हो जाता.
Correct.
ये तो सीधा बहुत आसान था. ये ज्योमेट्री वाले तो मेरे को टाइम लगता है फिगर बना के मैं करता हूँ हमेशा.
ना मैं छोड़ दिया होता सर, इसमें 120 डिग्री 100 डिग्री मेरे पड़ते
नहीं,
नहीं
राउंड 2
है.
में आता है ना मेरे लिए. ये मेरा राउंड 2 आइटम है. राउंड 1 में तो नहीं आता. This again is a standard question. I'm sure everyone would know that A into B is less than equal to A plus B only when A or B is equal to 0 or 1. You know that. That's again, to me the issue is
0 1
there
और
are at
2.
least 5 standard questions in this paper. If you have
0
missed
1
any of those standard questions, you will have a challenge. Yeah, Ravi.
2 2 भी satisfy करेगा ना.
2 into 2.
हाँ.
Apart from 0, 1, there's only one case where M and N are greater than. So 2 into 2 is the only case.
Right.
Okay. So 49 with n equal to 1, 49 with n equal to 1 and 1 overlap, that makes it 98 minus 1, 97. And then you have 2 into 2, 4. So 98 is the answer. ये सिंपल सवाल था यार, कुछ नहीं. अरेंज में वो घुसाना था, कमरे में बच्चों को बिठाना था. यार शिवकू को कहीं बाहर निकाल दिया गया. अच्छा, ओके, ऐड टू द स्ट्रीम. या
Roots of quadratic equation x square minus 24x plus k are both prime
sum of
numbers.
roots is 24. There again, sum of roots is 24. You need to find the maximum difference in the product of roots. So sum of roots is 24. Prime numbers are so small. So the minimum or the maximum will happen when the roots are 13, 11. Prime roots चाहिए ना, prime numbers. 13 plus
Correct.
11, and the other extreme will be 17, 19 plus 5.
5 and 19.
5 and 19.
Maximum difference between 5 and 19, and closest
11
will
and
be
13.
11 and 13. Correct.
So again, this is a standard question. That is my issue, that people seem to be missing the standard questions more than anything else. ये जुगाड़ लग जाए बहुत अच्छा है, नहीं लगा कोई बात नहीं, स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन नहीं मिस होना चाहिए.
सर इसमें एक और चीज है. सर इसमें ना दोनों
हाँ
प्राइम नंबर है,
हाँ
तो ऑड इंटू ऑड हो रहा होगा
हाँ,
दोनों केस.
ऑब्वियसली. हाँ
ऑड
हाँ,
इंटू ऑड ही हो रहा
डिफरेंस
होगा
हैज टू
दोनों
बी
केस
इवन.
में.
हाँ,
द डिफरेंस हैज टू बी इवन. तो
इवन.
ये और ये तो आंसर हो ही
तो
नहीं
हाँ,
सकता.
बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हो. हम्म. इस पे टाइम लगेगा, इसमें मेहनत लगेगी. To me, these are the questions. So I think there are many times this is a question which is familiar. I'm sure many people will be able to say if a number is of the form of 0.ab recurring, it is effectively ab upon 99. But काम तो उसके बाद चालू होता है ना. So my point is, did you spend time on this question? If yes, this was not a good choice. This is a question which was meant to be left. And again, no choice is nothing to help you.
I
Yeah,
think
the next one.
I think in the first 10 questions itself we have come
हाँ,
across 3 questions which are number system.
हाँ,
नंबर सिस्टम का कोई स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्मूला नहीं होता. नंबर सिस्टम आपको यू पुट पेन ऑन पेपर एंड स्टार्ट डूइंग इट, एंड इट इज बेसिकली लॉजिक. एंड आई थिंक दैट इज वेयर थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, थोड़ा फ्रिक्शन है कि नंबर्स है नहीं आएगा.
ये तो
दिस
स्टैंडर्ड सवाल है ना. राइट
पैटर्न
फर्स्ट 5-6 टर्म्स, गेट द पैटर्न, मार्क द आंसर.
फर्स्ट
Here the
5 6
pattern was
ए 8
two
ही
to
तो
mark.
पूछा है.
हाँ,
ए 8 ही तो पूछा है सीधा.
लिख के निकाल भी सकते हो. हाँ, बिल्कुल एकदम.
दिस इज
5 की
3
जगह
मिनट
8
3
कर दो, आंसर निकाल लो.
3 मिनट 3 मार्क्स स्ट्रेट अवे.
हाँ, एकदम. Here again, standard question again. So I find in this paper about 7-8 standard questions. Okay.
सम
Maximum volume will happen when it's a cube.
करेक्ट.
In case, and the analogy you can always use is if it is a perimeter is fixed, the rectangle with the highest area will be a square. So यहाँ पे cube में highest तभी होगा when the sides are equal. ये मेहनत वाला सवाल है, दिमाग लगाना पड़ेगा. ठीक है.
230th day of the year is Tuesday, and in n plus 1, the 130th day is also a Tuesday. Okay.
हाँ, तो
On
ऑड डेज निकालना ना. 135 plus 160, 265 हो गया. 230, 135, 130, 265. 265 वो मल्टीपल ऑफ वो देखना पड़ेगा कितना आता है.
so
कि
n
लीप ईयर
plus
है कि वो सब यार करने लायक नहीं है पेपर में, दिमाग नहीं लगाना. सी आई
सर.
स्टार्ट रवि, मेरा बहुत सिंपल रूल है.
हाँ
क्वेश्चन दिमाग लगाने को बोलता, मुझे नहीं करना.
सर, इस साल ट्यूसडे है तो अगले दिन अगले साल n जो है वो मंडे होगा.
क्या
वो
अगर ट्यूसडे ही है
वो
तो यानी अगला साल लीप ईयर हो गया तेरा.
हाँ 30th day of n minus 1 occur.
इसमें चॉइसेस में मार दिया, नहीं तो मैं बहुत जल्दी आ गया था आंसर. very quickly I could say, okay, what I said was the bigger circle has a diameter of 8. The
We
smaller
see.
circle's diameter will be slightly more than 1.
Correct.
C1 has a diameter of 8, C2 will have a diameter slightly more than 1.
Correct.
So I was able to find my answer has to be slightly less than 20.92. अब 18 और 18.57 ने मार दिया मुझे. But वहां पे भी मेरा एक और लॉजिक था. I would have, if I was taking the paper, I would have gone with 18.57 because C2 is going to be not an integer. It is going to be some kind of stupid decimal. And we have a 22 by 7 or pi all over the place. The answer is unlikely to be an integer. I would be taking a small chance, but I think answer cannot be an integer.
Right.
If you have to do it mathematically, it will take time. Again, Pythagorean theorem लगाना पड़ेगा, but हो जाएगा. But to me, it is a question which I would possibly either mark 18.57 based on my approximation or leave the question.
आई थिंक इसमें ये है सर कि आ, जिसमें अगर किसी ने मेहनत करके टाइप किया है डेसिमल पॉइंट
हाँ.
तो उसमें नॉन डेसिमल वाला जनरली
अच्छा, इस question में शिवको I use the calculator because if I remember correctly, Ravi, if you can just write 72 minus, I had to do 72 minus 16.25 pi. For 16.25 pi, I use a calculator. Why will I? And I got exactly 20.92. So which is what, again, Shivku said, calculator use. I use calculator where required. I am not hung up on this fact कि calculator नहीं use करना, कोई ego नहीं है मेरी. मुश्किल calculation है, use करो, आगे चलो. Yeah. I think people who are not, okay, this is a question, allegation can be used. I don't know how many use allegation. You
runs out of the
you are
fuel.
mixing a speed of 80. Okay, just read the question.
Total is 10 hours. So
Yeah.
average speed is 64.
Yeah, mixing a speed of 80 kilometers and 60 kilometers per hour to get an average speed of 64 kilometers per hour.
1 is
So
to
ratio
4.
of time is 1:4.
2 hours.
Out of 8 hours, you have done out of 10 hours, 8 hours are at 640, are at speed of 60. 8 hours at the speed of 60 is 20 liters of fuel, which is half tank. So answer should be 40. Okay.
Right.
But to my mind, allegation is something I hope students have been able to apply in this question. ये नहीं किया मैंने.
Okay. Good. Maximum possible value of n. सर ये 2031 और 2391 का डिफरेंस कितना हो गया? 360.
60,
और
360 क्या?
2391 और 2811 का डिफरेंस कितना हो गया?
480.
नहीं नहीं 490.
490.
नहीं नहीं 2811 ना 420.
420, sorry.
360 और 420 का HCF
शिवपुर
आ गया.
सिंह चॉइस यूज करना चाहिए.
360 और 420 का HCF आ गया 60. नहीं
मैंने तो देखा भी नहीं था, मैं स्किप मार दिया. ठीक है शिवकू.
या फिर मैंने क्वेश्चन ही नहीं पढ़ा.
शिवकू,
He makes-
you are mute. You on mute.
He makes n baskets of these fruits that each basket has A apples, B bananas, and C peaches. In the end, the shopkeeper is left with K.
Soumya, that's just an approximation that Ravi is doing on the spur of the moment. Don't if it is wrong, it is wrong. That's not an issue.
I
Shivku
don't know
can't
if I'm
hear you.
audible.
Now you're audible, Shivku.
हाँ, ये तो सीधा चॉइस से यूज कर लेते हैं.
नहीं, मैं तो देखा भी नहीं है. मेरे को सवाल ही नहीं, शक्ल अच्छी नहीं लगी, मैं आगे चला गया.
हाँ, यहाँ पहुंचते पहुंचते लोग थक गए होंगे.
अच्छा कितने baskets करने हैं? Okay.
हाँ, चलो.
ये
Next
इतना
वाला.
I think
Ravi, apparently the answer is 30, not 60.
30 है.
I don't know. Some shown the
I
same
read the
thing.
question wrong then.
No,
I
no,
did
the
not
answer
solve
is
the
30.
question.
Answer is 30.
Yeah.
ये बहुत
इसका
अच्छा
answer,
क्वेश्चन है. Ravi, just
इसका
read the
Answer.
question.
ax square plus bx plus c are equal to the sum of the squares of their reciprocals. अच्छा.
So alpha plus beta has to be equal to 1 by alpha square plus 1 by beta square. No, Ravi, इतना कहीं काम करना. एक मिनट यार.
ठीक
ये
है.
नहीं
1
लिखना.
by alpha square plus 1 by beta square. ठीक है.
So this will get satisfied if alpha is equal to beta equal to 1. This satisfies. So my
Okay.
equation x square minus 2x plus 1. X square minus So a is equal to 1, b is minus 2, c is 1. Now get the answer.
So
So it
a.
becomes, if I remember correctly, it is minus 2. bc
Hmm.
square was minus 2.
Hmm.
And then ca square was 1.
Hmm.
And then we have 4.
Okay.
So this is
So
an
then,
AP. Okay. So my all such questions, my first approach is, can I get a specific value of the roots which will satisfy the condition? Because the question given is a general case. If it is a general case, it will be valid for the specific case also. I will always look for specific case in such questions. If I can't, then I'll do what the way you have written.
ये क्वेश्चन मैं गलत करके आता सर, क्योंकि मेरे को जहां पे हार्मोनिक प्रोग्रेशन दिखता है मैं लगा के आ जाता हूँ.
अच्छा रवि, इंटरेस्टिंगली मुझे हार्मोनिक प्रोग्रेशन, आई कांट रिमेंबर एनी क्वेश्चन जिसका आंसर है हार्मोनिक रहा हो कैट में. आई कुड बी रॉन्ग, बट आई
सर
कांट रिमेंबर एनी क्वेश्चन जिसमें हार्मोनिक मीन या हार्मोनिक प्रोग्रेशन का आंसर होता.
अगर अगर मुझे 1 by a by 1 plus 1 by b is equal to 2 by c दिखा कहीं पे भी,
हाँ.
किसी भी ऑप्शन में, तो मैं उसी को आंसर मार्क करके आता हूँ. सी इज द हार्मोनिक मीन ऑफ ए एंड बी. क्योंकि सर अपना टाइम स्पीड एंड डिस्टेंस में एवरेज स्पीड हो या फिर टाइम एंड वर्क का नंबर ऑफ डेज रिक्वायर्ड टू वर्क हो, हार्मोनिक मीन से ही तो निकलता है.
ठीक है. ये बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन लगा शिव को मुझे. Answer has to be greater than 15 or less than 10. Choice 2 cannot be. Statement 2 is always incorrect. So we just draw x and y axis. Common tangent of two circles and the tangents at 90 degree. So one is the two circles could be on opposite sides, on or diagonally opposite. Just draw one circle on one quadrant and the other on the other quadrant, diagonally opposite a small circle. Now obviously the distance between these two circles will be greater than 15.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And if both of them are on the same side, in first quadrant में बनाना रवि एक circle. नहीं first नहीं ऐसा नहीं, first quadrant में बनाओ. Just for clarity purpose. नहीं छोटा नहीं बड़ा बनाओ यार.
एक बड़ा एक छोटा.
Absolutely. This is what, if they are on the same thing, same side, what you will find is you cannot draw a circle of 10 and 5 which will not be cutting. These will be cutting. So the
Correct.
answer has to be less than 10.
Correct.
Now that means 10 root 2 is wrong. Choice 1 is wrong, choice 3 is wrong, choice 4 is wrong. Okay. Okay. But मैं solve करना नहीं है तो solve तुम लोग कर लेना बाद में. Now my point, however, is if you have been able to do this question or the previous question or some of the other questions through Jugaad, great. But to me, that is not important. What is important to me, as far as this paper is concerned, there were at least 7-8 standard questions. And CAT always gives some standard questions, 7-8 standard questions. If you are missing out on those standard questions, no amount of Jugaad will help you. Okay? So those standard questions should not be missed, is my first and foremost thing as far as these papers are concerned.
आई थिंक इसमें प्रॉब्लम यह है कि प्रॉफिट लॉस डिस्काउंट, सिंपल इंटरेस्ट, कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट और बेसिक परसेंटेज का क्वेश्चन नहीं था.
यार डीआई में था, उसको भी नहीं किया.
हाँ. वहां पे थोड़ा बुरा मान गया लोग. Though there was enough arithmetic and enough numbers and algebra, but I think the first three topics जो सबको आते हैं, जो लोग ढूंढते हैं पेपर में वो नहीं थे इसमें. दैट इज टाइम एंड वर्क नहीं था. टाइम स्पीड
Yeah, but
डिस्टेंस थी.
हाँ
या
ठीक है रवि,
बट आई
टाइम
थिंक
स्पीड डिस्टेंस का
जितने
दो
स्लॉट
सवाल
थे
थे यार. ESG had
2017
2 or 3 questions.
2017 के किसी भी स्लॉट में सिंपल इंटरेस्ट नहीं था.
हाँ
2008 आई थिंक उससे 2017 के एक स्लॉट में टाइम स्पीड एंड डिस्टेंस पूरा ही नहीं था किसी भी इसमें.
तो इसमें रवि, वन ऑफ द आइडियाज इज आल्सो एटलीस्ट द लास्ट 3-4 मॉक्स का टिल
हम्म.
अबाउट मॉक 12 वी विल से दैट कि जो तुम्हारे एग्जिस्टिंग प्री कंसीव नोशंस है कि पेपर कैसे आएगा,
हम्म.
राइट, आई वांट टू काइंड ऑफ डिस्टर्ब दैट. बिकॉज कैट में अगर कुछ सडनली यू फाइंड कि ये 2-3 टॉपिक का आया नहीं है, यू डोंट वांट टू कम बैक एंड से कि वो करना है. The second thing is, if you look at 70% of these questions, if you have done the past cat papers, you would see that there is always a thread in some of these questions to what is there in the past.
Right.
So, from that perspective, I mean, if somebody is uh, not able to go beyond those 12-13 attempts, my guess is that you have not done the old cat papers thoroughly.
इनफैक्ट कैट 2020 स्लॉट 3 में ऐसे ही आया था सरप्राइज. मतलब 26 क्वेश्चंस थे क्वांट के, उसमें 3 कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री आ गए थे.
yeah, that's right.
So we have seen if you look at CDC till about CDC 7 or 8, everything
राइट.
was in a predictable formats.
करेक्ट.
We decided very consciously was 4-5 जैसे unpredictable format करेंगे, right? We'll go back to some of the things, but the idea is to unsettle, make sure कि you go back, look at the cat papers. In fact, the last 3 papers, the quant scores have gone down,
राइट.
right? And one reason is it is not in the conventional set of what we think is going to be the cat paper. So maybe I think one more, and then we probably go back to our standard formats.
Okay. Shivku, couple of students asking Jugaad solution when will be uploaded? Should be uploaded latest by end of the day, worst case tomorrow morning. But it has already been recorded. The editing is on, so hopefully by end of the day it will be uploaded. And
DILR आई थिंक अपलोड हो गए हैं.
uh,
Nishad, this weekend we are going to be the next weekend we are going to be doing the 30 days to cat wala session. I think what should be the approach for the last 30 days?
hmm, hmm, hmm,
I mean, if you are asking me for quant, I would say कि cat के papers अगर जो भी नहीं किया है वो सब कर लो.
hmm, right. And
So it means
verbal
that
ka
you
aaj hamara verbal unfortunately we couldn't. Jijo is still not fully recovered, but next paper he'll be available. I had a word with him a couple of days ago, so next paper onward he'll be there completely. And what we'll also do is we'll do a separate session if required for all of you ki verbal mein kya karna hai, because verbal is something which I'm a little let's say a little worried based on the scores which I saw in this paper.
sir, my VARC scores are around 20s and my overall score depends on LRD and quant is most. This time quant I couldn't get momentum and scores got down. Don't worry Samyudeep, एक मॉक से कुछ होता नहीं है.
Hmm.
I mean, I think don't change your strategies because एक mark in one of the mocks scores have gone down. So
And Soumyadeep, just look at this paper and see which are the questions, as I normally say, which are the questions you could have solved but missed and why. To me, this was a paper which had, as I said earlier, 7-8 standard questions. Those standards should not have been missed. And there were 4-5 questions which जिसमें दिमाग लगाना था, those should not have been attempted.
या बाबर आजम जस्ट हैड अ बैड डे टुडे. क्या पता अगले मैच में आके 100 मार दे.
हम्म, हम्म,
लोड मत कर.
अगला नीदरलैंड के साथ है ना शायद.
इंडिया का नेदरलैंड्स के साथ है. यस.
नहीं
27.
पाकिस्तान का.
बाबर आजम का.
बाबर आजम का आई थिंक जिम्बाब्वे ना. जिम्बाब्वे हो गया है क्या उनका?
चलो वहां पे भी 100 मार देगा फिर वो.
सौरभ शुक्ला. इफ आई डू In time pressure, then my accuracy suffers and I tend to do silly mistakes. However, if I solve without hurry, then my accuracy improves, but attempts get reduced. What should I do to?
Reduce your attempts यार. इसमें कुछ सोचो मत. Don't worry about attempts. Okay, don't worry about the number of attempts. Look at only accuracy. If your scores are suffering because you're trying to move fast, then you need to slow down.
I think finally the winner is accuracy, not not
Yeah,
the attempts.
Yeah, I have a little different opinion here, sir. Especially in VARC, how do you know you are marking the wrong answer or the right answer?
No, if you are
You are
unnecessary,
marking an answer which you are convinced about.
no, that is
yes,
true, Ravi. I completely agree with you, and I also feel that VARC में ज़्यादा जिसमें सोचते हो वहाँ पे गलती होती है. मतलब
Exactly.
तुम्हारा and और ultimately तुम बहुत ज़्यादा सोच के you come back and mark the same answer.
Right. I've seen
So,
multiple times that
so
you mark.
what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, your attempts cannot be unnatural attempt.
Hmm.
For example, I
तुक्का
can definitely talk
तुक्का
about
नहीं मारना
accuracy
है.
in quant.
तुक्का नहीं मारना है. जिस स्पीड से आप सॉल्व कर पा रहे हो उस स्पीड से सॉल्व करो. और अगर आपको एक बार आंसर आ गया, यू आर गेटिंग वन आंसर, डोंट बी बॉदर्ड अबाउट चेकिंग इट, वेरीफाइंग इट अगेन. मतलब वो वाला टाइम वेस्ट मत करो. Mostly in
Absolutely.
VRC, this will, you will end up wasting time if you go back to the passage and read it again. Once you are
Completely.
fixed, once you are convinced that B is the answer, B is the answer for you. It may or may not be the correct answer, but it is the answer for you because you cannot convince yourself against your own mind in next 20 seconds. ठीक है. तो वो मत, don't waste time in re-verifying those answers. बट ये नहीं है कि फास्ट करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. यू डू इट एट योर ओन पेस.
And one of
Ravi
the
should
things
go.
that I find students doing when it comes to quant is when they say that I want to do it fast, I think they suddenly see, oh, 3 minute लगेगा, 3.5 minute लगेगा और छोड़ देता हूँ, right? I think if you are somebody who's very good, maybe it is might be a logical solution for you, but not for most people. So 3 minutes I think is okay. 3 minutes, 3 marks is what's
Yeah,
wrong with it?
Shivku, something which we have said earlier also. 40 minutes, 40 marks is a very good performance in any section. 1 minute per mark, 3 minutes for one question is perfectly par for course, not an issue at all. So please don't worry about time. Okay. But Ravi Shivku, what would you tell Monte? Able to perform only in one section. एक अच्छा करेगा तो बाकी दो खराब करेगा. Decide करके बैठा हुआ है.
So Monte, you have the ability of performing well individually in all the three sections, right?
Maybe you're thinking that you have won the match in the at the end of the fifth over.
Yeah.
हाँ, 31 for 4 था.
In fact, sir, last 3 overs में 48 चाहिए था.
Yes.
तो वही तो कह रहा हूँ. स्टोरी इज ऑलवेज दैट ना. जब तक मैच खत्म नहीं होता तुम ये नहीं कह सकते कि कौन जीता है.
हाँ, there might always be a Mohammad Nawaz in the question paper.
It's
How
a
would you
good
know?
thing to celebrate. You do this and say, "Wow, I got my VRC right," then move on. Just move on. So I think don't don't celebrate too early. मातम भी जल्दी मत बनाना.
And if vice versa is true, you should actually be happy. If you don't do well in VARC and you're doing good in DILR, then you should be happy that you're not carrying past baggage. Right? See, it is all पोस्ट मॉर्टम एनालिसिस. मतलब एग्जाम होने के बाद वाला एनालिसिस वाली बात कर रहे हो आप. राइट? यू आर रियलाइजिंग दैट आफ्टर द एग्जाम in VRC, if you score good, in DILR you are not able to score good. That that has nothing to do with anything about the paper or your preparation, right? If you have the ability of individually scoring good in all the three sections, I think the only point that is very important in the paper is your focus, your attention, your concentration. If you are not concentrating while reading, you will have to reread. You'll have to, when you are reading it for the first time, Shivku sir always says the quant ka bhi question of पहली बार जब पढ़ रहे हो, take time to read it, don't be in a hurry to read it. थोड़ा स्पीड कम भी होगा तो कोई बात नहीं, then you will automatically do good if you have the ability of doing good.
Yeah,
ठीक है
Samya,
सर.
it will be available to everyone. So last 30-day strategy session, we'll be doing it on 27th. The reason is on 27th, it is 1 month, but more importantly, the sample paper of CAT will also come out on 27th.
So to say, sample paper.
Yes, that's a
वो पिछले
paper
साल का ही
everyone is
mock
worried
लगा रहे
about a lot. Unfortunately, people worry about a lot about, as far as that paper is concerned. I don't know why, but yes, people do.
Yeah. So I think we can end it here,
Chalo,
sir.
all the best. Happy Diwali to all of you.
Happy
Yep.
Diwali, everyone, guys.
And
Take tomorrow's day off.
हाँ
Enjoy.
छुट्टी मनाओ
That is
एक
also
दिन.
very important.
पटाखे तुम भी फोड़ लेना हमने तो
हाँ
आज फोड़ दिया है
दिल्ली में मत फोड़ना पर.
हाँ दिल्ली में हो तो केजरीवाल से बच के फोड़ना.
ठीक है ठीक चल ओके बाय
चलो ओके बाय गुड नाइट ऑल द बेस्ट एंड हैप्पी दिवाली. नवनीत चलो बोल दो क्या सवाल है तुम्हारा.